Hey guys, welcome to Project Metal Music's YouTube channel with your host Dan Young, and we are here with Ewan and Alan from the band Emerald Sunday. Welcome, guys.
Thanks, Al.
Thank you.
Glad to be here, man. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. So, guys, could you introduce yourselves and what you do within the band?
So my name is Alan, and I do most of the writing, play the guitar, some backing, oohs and ahs. When I can, I do the odd tune. That kind of, if one's kind of suit my style of vocal, I'll kind of jump on that. So I've been in the band since 2008, and still here.
I'm Ewan. I'm the bass player. I also edit a bunch of videos and reduce the amount of follicles that the band has overall.
Cool. So let's dive into some questions. As kids, what were you listening to?
Oh, that's embarrassing, actually.
Here goes the street cred right out that window.
Keep on doing this to myself. I listened to Shakin' Stevens when I was young. I mean, very young. Like, I had a tennis racket and that, you know what I mean? Like, and a bit of string, and I jump about the house to this old house and all that. But, so that was what I grew up on as a little kid. But as a teenager, I got into indie kind of rock and all that kind of thing. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Geez, man. Okay. So I started up. I'd probably say my first musical love was reggae from about 9 years old. My mum had the Exodus album, and I loved it, absolutely loved it, and then went down several avenues. But my real kind of musical break came hearing probably Rage Against the Machine, I would think. I'll hold my hands up right now. The first album I ever bought was Vanilla Ice.
It's not as bad as Shaky.
It's getting close. It's getting close, man. I'm on the edge there. And then the first single I ever bought was "Do the Bartman" by Bart Simpson.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
So again, my street cred has gone left and has left a note. But it kind of developed from there. So reggae into hip hop, and then I heard Rage Against the Machine, and that was me. I was off down the path of guitar music from then on.
Cool. So who actually got you into listening to music? Was it your parents, a sibling, or friends, or was it sort of like a journey of self-discovery?
Well, my parents kind of listened to like kind of old 50s and like Chuck Berry and all that, you know what I mean? Because he's a bit older. So I was kind of brought up on that kind of like 50s and 60s sort of thing, like the rock and roll kind of era, you know what I mean? That's what I kind of I started to listen to when I was young, or got made to listen to. But and then I was in Elvis. I just thought Elvis was just this amazing human. You know what I mean? When he was on the screen, was like, oh, wow. So that was what I kind of got drummed into me from a very young age. And I went away on my own and did got into my own stuff. But I think basically that kind of like boppy kind of rock and roll kind of stuff was what I grew up as a youngster, you know what I mean, until I was a teenager.
I think from my side, it all sort of started up with listening to whatever was well, my mum was listening to, but then also growing up, we used to do lots of kind of holidays, either me and my dad or my mum and dad, we'd go around driving around, and a lot of it would be soundtracked by Scottish music. So like Runrig, Capercaillie, the Corries, all this kind of stuff. So that's definitely seeped into the consciousness quite a bit. And then, I would say once I'd kind of listened to that, and then I started to kind of get into the hip hop side of things, is when I went down my own kind of voyage and found my own path through mostly skateboarding videos and that kind of thing. Rollerblading videos was in essence the soundtrack to my entire youth, was whatever was on those at the time.
Cool. So out of all the band's music that you've listened to over the years, who was your sort of like main influence? Was there just one main influence, or was there like multiple influences? Basically got you in to say, I want to do this, I want to get up on stage, I want to perform.
So I remember had a house party when I was about 15, 16 years old, and the next day when I was kind of hungover, well, not hungover, I was a bit young, but I had
You can-
somebody had left.
You can say that now, man. You're not going to get in trouble now. It's all you're hungover.
Sorry, man. So anyway, somebody had left an Oasis VHS. I think it was Main Road, and I didn't like them before. I wasn't really into them. But then I put it on, and then I just thought I just bought into it. You know what I mean? I don't know what it was. It just obviously the melodies, the songs, kind of that attitude as well was just like, you know what I mean? And that was it. I was kind of hooked ever since that. And I kind of was into more of their back catalogue as opposed to their mainstream stuff. So the B-sides and whatnot. And so that was what got me properly hooked into picking up the guitar. I didn't pick up a guitar before that. So it was about 15, 16. It was a late kind of, I was into all that happy hardcore nonsense as well. And then that's what kind of got me out of that and into plugging in a guitar really and starting to write music and that and play other people as well. But mainly writing, yeah, totally.
Yeah, I think for me, I blame it all on my friend Rudy. I'd kind of tried a few bits and pieces, a little bit of keyboards, didn't really float my boat. Picked up a 6-string again, just didn't really float my boat. And then I went up to his house one day, and he was playing the bass line for Sugar Hill Gang, Rapper's Delight, or Shake Good Times, depending on where you know it from. And straight away, I was like, teach me that. Teach me it. And that was me off. As soon as I learned that, and I could sort of play my way through it a little bit, then I knew that's all I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I'm like, this is me. I'm sold now. And yeah, it took me down various other avenues. Again, Rage Against the Machine, some Stone Roses stuff, because a lot of my friends were into like, kind of indie stuff as well, and I got into that. And metal, everything else, just all kind of flowed from that one chance of me walking into his house while he was playing a bass line.
Cool. Were you in sort of like any bands prior to Emerald Sunday?
A lot of terrible bands. I was in fact, even at the beginning of Emerald Sunday, we thought we were good and we weren't. So it's taken us a little bit of time to get to where we are now. But before that, none worth really mentioning, to be fair. I mean, I was in bands, but we didn't. It was kind of cover stuff. This was the first band that we really got tucked into doing our own material. So I wouldn't say really anything kind of worth discussing, really, to be honest with you.
I was a bit of a band slag when I was younger. So, yeah, I was just playing with anybody that I could. But in terms of sort of notable things, first off, the band called Hippo, we did quite well. We got like Radio 6 Music play the Wicker Man Festival. And we had Peter Hook from Joy Division and Bez were on after us on the stage we were on. So that was like an experience just to have that. Another band, Echo Arcadia, we got signed up to a US record label, Spectra Records. I did quite well with that. Red Command, which was a sort of metal style band. Another band called Deaf Mute Society, which was the band before Emerald Sunday, and they again worked with Reaction Management and with Jay and did quite well. Sold out the Liquid Rooms in Edinburgh, which is a like 850 capacity venue, as an unsigned band. So yeah, did a lot of good things with that. And now Emerald Sunday, things are just growing and growing with Emerald Sunday too, which is good to see. So yeah, it's just keeping that rolling.
Cool. We've got a question from let me see. We've got a question from Lisaboo, who's all the way in Canada. She asks, how did you pick the band's name?
So obviously before the band started, I got roped into doing a quiz, a musical quiz, and I took the music round, and I was doing anagrams of band names. So I had like a list of all my answers, whatnot, my clues, sorry. And one of the clues was Emerald Sunday. And then that was and the answer to that was Green Day. And that's pretty much it. It's not that exciting, but it's quite cool. But so that was it. Yeah, I thought, you know what, when I saw it written down, and I thought, that'd be a great name for a band. And then once we got the band together, it was like a easy choice. So yeah, that's it.
you know it when you land on it. As soon as you hear it, you're like, that's it. And it can be, but those accidental ones are some of the best, man.
Yeah, cool. So thank you for that, Lisa. So we've got another question from Aussie Queen of the Rose, as the name suggests, from Australia. She asks, "What is your favourite song? Whether it be your Emerald Sunday song or like a personal song from another band."
Oh, jeez.
That's a tough one.
I can't pick, man. It changes daily. It changes daily. And sorry, Aussie Queen of the Rose to 2026. So thank you for the question too. Yeah, it changes on a day-to-day basis. Really does. My whole thing with music is I believe there's only two styles of music, and that's good and bad. And it's good if it makes you feel something. It's bad if it makes you feel nothing. Because that's what music should do. It should convey a feeling and make you feel something. So yeah, I think at the moment there's a song called Power by an artist called Ren that I quite like at the moment that seems to be on repeat. So I would say probably for the sake of the discussion, I'm going to go for Power by Ren. It's an absolutely brilliant song. Really well written. Ren's a fantastic performance artist as well as a musician. So yeah, that's the one that I would recommend.
Wow. That's a tough one. Well, I'm going to pick my band, like Emma Sunday favourite one, and I think it's probably I'm going to always come back to the Psychos and War Machines for me. I just there's something about it. I don't know what it is, but I just love it. It's quite heavy as well for me as well, but I love it. Something about it. The chorus it just kind of wrote itself. So yeah, that's probably been my favourite Emma Sunday song. As favourite one for that's really tough. I would probably have to. I mean, I like a lot of Feeder stuff as well. Actually, I went to Feeder. They've got a wee bit odd, but so I like High. High is always yeah. There's so many, and then I'm into folky stuff as well. So you've got like Neil Young, Heart of Gold, that kind of thing. I've got loads. I've got hundreds of songs that I couldn't really pick one, but there you go. There's a few.
I think for an Emerald Sunday song, in case that was what you were intending with the question, because I went down the other route of what's my actual favorite song, I would probably say What Becomes of You is my favorite Emerald Sunday song.
Cool. Thank you for that, Ozzy. So, what has the band been up to, especially over, say, the last 12 months or so?
We've actually been kind of planning something for next year. We've always been kind of working on what's coming next. We've been writing, we've been recording, we've got new songs ready to go. But we've also got a back catalogue that most people haven't heard as well. You know what I mean? So we're doing like a little kind of mix and match thing. We've been working on that. We're going to get really hard on that soon. Yeah, we've done a few gigs. It's all go. Mainly behind the scenes, but we're busy.
Yeah, lots of gigs. This year's just been kind of about getting around and playing. Like most bands, I think we've had a bit of a hit with COVID and all that kind of thing. So it's about getting out there, playing again, doing all this kind of stuff, and getting out to some new ears. We've released a couple of singles this year as well. So the most recent one, Last Call, came out. Geez, when was that? September, October?
Wow, September, I think.
September. Yeah, just came out there, which happy with. It's great to get out there. We've had that. We've just played up in Inverness and Dundee. We're in Perth on the 13th as well. This is our last gig of the year at a venue called the Twa Tams in Perth. So that's going to be a good night too. Looking forward to doing that one. So that's it. And then we're going to take a little bit of downtime. And then, as Alan said, next year it's kind of all systems go. We're already in one of the things that we're booked in for is the Heartland Festival up here. So we're doing main stage on Heartland in 2026, which is going to be an absolutely brilliant fun gig. I think there's probably about 30,000 thereabouts that go to. I mean, it's a huge crowd. So there's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to doing that one too. And then this other project that Alan's saying about as well, which we're just keeping under wraps for a little bit longer. But everything's kind of pulling towards a big 2026.
Cool. So could you tell us a little bit about the music that you released?
So we've got 3 albums. First 2 albums were done kind of a while ago. So I would say the latest one, Willow, which we did with Richard McNamara from Embrace, big band from the 90s and the noughties, was probably our first real proper record. So that's the one, unfortunately, that we brought out just before COVID. We had no idea, of course, COVID was coming. And this was a massive, massive break. We brought that out, and then the world kind of shut down. So Willow, we still play a lot of that. We never really got to tour it properly, so we're still bringing these songs out there, even though it's like 5 years later. But the last 2 or 3 years, we've been bringing out kind of a few singles, bit different, all different styles. We've got like Daydreams, like an indie kind of rock kind of song. Last Call that you just mentioned there, the latest one's like a piano kind of ballad. Psychos is kind of heavy, kind of rock, I would say. So there's something for everyone in all these tunes. I think we're kind of hard to put into like a bracket really for what actual genre we really are. We're kind of a bit of everything, to be honest with you. But so yeah, they've been kind of coming thick and fast. But and I say there's more coming as well.
Cool. So is there any sort of like new singles coming out this month or early next year?
Well, without giving too much away, really.
Yeah, try and tread lightly here.
Yeah, we can't really. I mean, we've got something big coming out. You know what I mean? We can say that. But there's lots of details in there that we'll kind of not share yet. But we've got lots of stuff coming out.
Should we go for the name? Maybe should we just tease with the name slightly?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, so it's the title's going to be Tattoos and Memories. There's going to be a lot that we're drawing on from this, from old material as well as new material, and it's again, just to kind of expand on it slightly, is it's going to be much more of a multimedia release rather than just like a set of tracks. Basically, this is going to be a full multimedia presentation and launch. So something a little bit different, a little bit more expanded compared to what we're used to doing in terms of release, but at the same time it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun to do it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think Tattoos and Memories is probably going to be the title of the first single that's coming off it. So that'll be the first one that's coming out, and that's first quarter 2026. Are we looking at for that one? Yeah, first quarter 2026 is coming out.
I think it's about summertime, I think, Ewan, because I think there's a promo start. I think it starts in about July, so it'll probably be well, things will start moving like about May, won't it? You know what I mean? We'll start to know what's going on, I think, about May time. But
we could talk about the other idea that we're floating in terms of shows and stuff just now, I suppose, because that's not really too so the other thing, just sorry, there was just something else that popped into my head there, is that we're looking to do a kind of an MTV Unplugged sort of style run of shows as well. The majority of the band are from like the Dundee area, and just so that you've got it, we're going to call it MTV Unplugged, but EM. So the Dundee phrase for I am is M, like M going to the shops. So we're kind of keeping a little bit of the Dundee in it by having MTV as the title, but it's going to be spelled EHM or EM. We're not worked with that. That's a small detail we've yet to work out, but yeah, that's going to be taking up a good bit of the early part of the year, as well as kind of doing some of these acoustic shows, planning those. We're also going to be filming them as well. So if you want to be in a music video, come down. You'll be in the music video, and we'll be recording these and putting these out as little videos as well of acoustic versions of songs. So yeah, it'll be fun to do.
Because it's kind of an 18-year anniversary, really, isn't it? So we're going to probably re-release What Becomes of You, which was our biggest single. So we're going to celebrate 18 years with that, and then what is to follow after that. So it's going to be a busy, big year for us, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, those videos for the Unplugged side of the gigs, would that be put up on YouTube, or are you thinking about putting them on a sort of like a DVD type of thing?
Ooh,
I don't know. Well, we'll certainly be filming the shows anyway. What kind of format we put them out in, I'm not sure. But I would like to have like some sort of kind of cool, kind of acoustic visual show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what we're going for. Nice lighting, nice kind of ambient. A little hearing the songs a little differently, because when you're plugged in and going for it, it's, you know what I mean. We can be loud and proud at times, but we need to strip this back and like just kind of let the melody do the thing.
A little bit more dynamics, yeah,
Yes.
a little bit more in terms of just tweaking the songs for that sort of acoustic sound, and kind of being able to kind of push into that direction a bit more with whatever other sounds we choose to kind of throw in.
Cool. We've got a question from Lisaboo, and she asks, do you have a process to write your songs?
Not really. I used to sit down with a guitar when I was younger and stay until I got something, and I would remember it. Now I can't remember it, so I have to. When I get something, I've got to record it on my phone. But I don't sit down to write anymore. It just kind of happens. Like I'll just get like a melody, and I'll think, God, I've got to write that. You know what I mean? I've got to hum that, and I'll come back to it, and I'll come back to it, and I'll push play, and I'll go, right, okay, got something here, and I'll just go for it. They just and the good ones just happen instantly. There's no, it doesn't, you know what I mean? They just come along, they just land on your lap, and that's it. And you're like, ah, wow. And it's so frustrating at the same time, because you're like, because if I could do it all the time and bring out a banger after banger, I would, but it doesn't work like that. So that's it. There's no like rhyme or reason to it. They just kind of happen. One of the weird things.
I would agree entirely, man. Like it's that whole thing of, if you go, I'm going to sit down today and I'm going to write a song, instant writer's block. It doesn't happen at all. A lot of my, anytime that I write something, it's sit in front of that fish tank behind me. Yeah. And I'm not thinking about anything. I'm just playing, and something happens. There was it was an interview with Dave Gilmour a while back, and he was talking about one of the songs that he'd written, and he was just messing around, and an arpeggio fell out of the guitar, which I hate when that happens. And I end up tripping all over arpeggios. But it's like it literally is that. It's not something you can say, now I'm going to write a #1 single. It just doesn't work like that. And more often than not, that's the most counterproductive thing you can do. So sitting down and just letting whatever happens. And I know that sounds very zen and very watery and not very descriptive, but it's literally that. It's true. Yeah. It just happens, and the best stuff literally just happens. Even whether it's sitting in front of that fish tank or in a room with the other 5 guys, it's literally just a case of it. We're like, oh no, hang on a minute, there's something in that. Yeah. And that sense develops as you get older, or more not as you get older, as you get more experienced as a musician as well. Being like, no, hang on a sec, there's something in that, or that's enough of that. It's got everything it needs. That's the other thing is not going down the route of adding on hundreds of layers and all this kind of stuff. If it works with just a piano and a vocal,
exactly,
it'll maybe need some bass, but apart from that, it's good.
It doesn't need drums, though.
Doesn't need drums. No, it doesn't need drums. Hi, Mike.
Cool.
But I think some folk can sit down and write. I mean, I guess people can go right away to write a song and then they go for it. You know what I mean? But it's definitely not for me. I've never been able to really properly do that. But yeah, it's a bit of a unique kind of weird thing. You know what I mean? But it's cool. It's good to be able to do it. You know what I mean? Don't know how to do it, but it's good.
Anytime that I sit down and try and structure a song, it sounds like I've sat down to try and structure a song.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It sounds like a collection of techniques rather than anything that's got any kind of feeling behind it at all. So yeah, definitely the organic way is the best way for us.
Yeah. Absolutely. What I'm finding now as well, my writing now, it's getting harder obviously because of all the chords I've used for other songs and melodies and whatnot. But I find that if I listen to our own stuff for a while and not anything else, I struggle a bit. But so I've got to be listening to music to subconsciously get ideas that you don't think you're getting, but you're getting. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that definitely helps, listening to music and your influences and whatnot, for sure.
That's one of the best tips I was given as a kind of my musicianship kind of progressed was that listen to the stuff that you don't listen to, because that's where everything you're missing is. You know, like you can get so many ideas from other styles of music, and if you just go, look, I'm a metalhead, I'm a hip hop head, or I'm only listening to indie music, you're missing all the stuff that inspired that and went before it. So all these little gaps there are in your knowledge and your playing, your note choices, all that side of stuff are in the music you're not, they're in the music you're not listening to. So listen to it, and it grows exponentially. It's crazy.
Totally.
Yeah, I was going to say that usually the case is I've spoken to a lot of musicians over the years, and from my own experience listening to like a lot of stuff from when I was growing up in the 70s, try and people are always saying, always try and listen, expand your musical knowledge to like other different areas of music. It doesn't matter if it's like classical, it doesn't matter if it's, say, rap, hip hop, it could be jazz, blues, whatever it is, listen to it, because you never know, you might come up with something.
Yeah, definitely. It's a much maligned thing, is that you don't want to pigeonhole yourself. Other people will happily do that for you, but don't do it to yourself. Try and keep an open mind as much as possible when it comes to that, because you are able to pull ideas from anywhere from these things, and it can happen, like we're saying, at any moment. It's a completely organic process. You can't predict it. So delve into these things and try and find the gaps in terms of your musical knowledge or playing, and that's when you'll really start to grow.
Yeah, I was going to say it's like taking a look at Led Zeppelin. Some of their biggest hits, say like Whole Lot of Love or Stairway to Heaven, they're sort of like a lot of like blues, heavy blues influence. Even though they are considered like a really hard rock band from the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, tracks like Jamaica as well, you know, where it's got that almost like reggae feel to it. And they also kind of lend a little bit to funk as well. You know, there's that line, "Where's that confounded bridge?" is a little bit of a Mickey take on James Brown shouting, "Take me to the bridge," you know, like that kind of stuff. And they drew from a lot of things. Led Zeppelin are to me are almost like Queen, but without the university education that some of the members had. They were just hard-working blue-collar musicians, you know. But yeah, exactly as you said, they draw musical influence from everywhere, and it helps to create just the whole Led Zeppelin sound. Even Kashmir with Indian music and that kind of stuff, like Indian ragas and that kind of thing. It's just crazy what you can draw in, and then bring that into your own playing as well.
Yeah. Same with the Beatles, really, especially like later on in their sort of like career. They went off into India to draw upon the musical styles of India. Especially within like I think it was about 67, 68, 69, something like that.
Yeah, and then you got like the Beatles with Ravi Shankar and all that kind of stuff going down that route. I did try to look into it, and I found a bit of music that had bars that were 14 and a half beats long, and I went, that's enough. For me, I can't count half a beat in a bar. Like to try and count like what every 2 bars, it's 28, but you've got to work out where that half beat is, and my head just exploded. I couldn't do it. So I think it definitely, if you're in the area and you can absorb yourself in the whole culture, you've got people who've grown up in that, but to try and splatter shot it through YouTube is a completely different thing. It's not going to be, you're not going to get the same results. So yeah, I would love to do that, but I don't think it's quite possible nowadays.
Yeah. We've got a comment from Gemma Layton. Hey Gemma, she asks, she says, always got a notebook to hand.
Yeah, and well, I'd use my phone now. I've got to use my phone, even like typing it on my phone. I don't use a pen anymore. I don't use a pen now. Nobody uses pens anymore. So I just type it on my little notepad and my phone, and then send it to the guys, and that's it. Done. Dusted.
Yeah. Voice notes or this little Zoom recorder, other recorders are available.
Yeah.
Not giving any free advertising for Zoom because they're not paying me to do it, so screw them.
Yeah. It would be my worst nightmare to write an absolute banger and then forget it in the morning. Wow, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
No, that can't happen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
The-
I was going I was going to mention the voice notes on the phone as well, because especially if you got like a sort of like some sort of like tune floating around you in your head, and you think, oh, that's a good one, and you hum it into your voice notes.
yeah, well, I had to do that on the way home one day from shopping or whenever. I had a verse for it was a song called "Running Out of Love" on the Willow album, and I could not get a chorus for weeks and weeks and weeks until I'm literally driving along the road with no music or that on, and it just I was found myself humming. I was singing the song and then I kind of hummed into the chorus, which is now the chorus. So I had to stop the car and get the voice recorder out, and that was it. Got home and then it was written. The whole song was done in half an hour.
Cool, cool, cool. Thank you for that, Gemma. Um, thank you for that one from Lisa as well. So let's lead on into the next question I was going to ask. But do you have a most favorite place to play at? Also, Ozzy asks, and do you have a dream place to play at?
Um, well, I played one of my favourite places that I've always wanted to play. That was the Cavern in Liverpool. I just loved it. And I loved it too much because I partied too hard after it, and I can't remember an absolute thing. I was on the Guinness, and it was not good. But so yeah, the Cavern was amazing. It was just amazing. Where would I like to play? Um, I, I want to do Belladrum up here. It's like a mini Glasgow kind of vibe, kind of small festival up in Inverness. Kind of was it up Inverness, you yeah.
yeah,
Belladrum.
yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, but so that I kind of like to do that. It's kind of small, but I want to do it for some reason. I don't know. Yeah, there's not really anywhere. Well, I don't know. Well, you do Glasgow, wouldn't you? You know what I mean? Whether it's on like a little side pocket stage, I'd still do it just for the crack. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, probably the Liquid Rooms is probably the most favourite that I've played at. In Edinburgh, it's like a hell of a fun venue to play. Just, probably one of the best nights of my life had in there playing in that place. So there's been a couple of good ones, and I think dream place to play would probably be the Red Rocks amphitheater in Colorado. I don't know if you've seen any of the bands that do gigs and stuff around there, but it's just such a stunning place, man, and natural. You know, all the seats are kind of cut perfectly. It's all surrounded by these ancient sort of red stones and stuff. It just looks stunning, and anytime you see it on videos, it looks really good. So,
what's that place in Vegas? The big kind of dome thing.
The Sphere.
Oh, that would be wicked, wouldn't it? That's cool.
Man, have you seen some of the people who have been, let's say, well lubricated while watching shows there and just absolutely losing their head?
All right, okay.
Yeah, if you were to go and watch like Pink Floyd live there, you would not come back the same person.
Yeah,
you'd be a changed man.
Yeah,
watching that show.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Ozzy. So you mentioned you've got a gig coming up on the 13th. Have you got any other gigs lined up that you can actually talk about?
Not really. We do have a couple in the bag for next year, but they're kind of not 100% confirmed. So yeah, but we do have plans in place for next year. But the 13th is the last show this year, for sure.
Mm. Yeah, there's I think the kind of idea is January, just into the start of February is a little bit quiet, so it tends to be a bit quiet on that front for gigs. Plus, you know, families, all that kind of stuff to spend time with too. But I think because of what we're doing next year, there's a lot more. But we've kind of had to take a little bit hit on the early part of the year with gigs and things, just to try and get some of this stuff planned out. Doing the series of acoustic gigs and recording those, plus being able to take all the stuff that we need to be able to do that on the site, and video record it and edit and all that kind of stuff. So that's all going to take a good bit of time. We are going to be peppering gigs in around about that, but it's kind of picking the right ones And then also doing stuff off our own back, as I said, as well, with the acoustic things too. So that's the plan. That's the plan for the early part of next year, and then build into festival season after that. So at the moment, it's currently going through the process of getting into these festival applications and all that kind of thing.
Cool. So, is there any plans on bringing merchandise out?
We're hoping to have everything out, really. You know what I mean? We've not done it for a while, to be honest with you. So we're hoping to have the vinyls, the CDs, maybe the cassettes. I don't know, your t-shirts, your hoodies, all that kind of jazz. So yeah, the full Monty with this one. As you were saying earlier on, we're going to really go for it this time. I mean, the last few releases have just been purely digital, but this is going to. I think everything's going to come out soon. You know what I mean? Everything that we've been doing and everything that we're doing is going to come out in loads of different formats and that. So it's quite exciting.
I think, yeah, we were talking about this a little while back, and you know that thing where you opened up a double-sided LP or something like that, and it's not just a tiny square on your screen, or it's not just, you know, like that kind of thing. There was a real, almost like it was like a piece of art that you were unfolding. So in the inside, you would have your liner notes, you would have your lyrics, you would have, you know, all this kind of thing. Some of them opened out, and I remember having a CD that had stereo. There you go. There's a little preview of the Willow vinyl. But yeah, you don't get that scale on a digital download. You know, it's just not the same on the screen. So trying to reinvent, I don't know if that's the right word to do it, but trying to bring that back into the next release is the key. So it's not just a case of there's our songs. You know, you're getting other little bits in with it, a little bit of the history of the band as well. A whole shooting match of stuff. So that's the plan. It is to kind of make it more multimedia and more multifaceted than just here's some tracks and that's a cover image.
Yeah, totally.
Cool. I know you mentioned you thinking about bringing out vinyl. Would that be for the next release for the vinyl?
Well, we've got like a test press for Willow, which is a previous album, which came out just before COVID, unfortunately. So that never made it out to a vinyl. So we've finally got that on a vinyl now. So chances are that'll be coming out. And then the one following that, for sure, yeah, that'll be on everything. So yeah,
cool.
Yeah, I think having these kind of companies where they kind of do print to order stuff is such a saving grace for bands these days, because you're not having to have that initial outlay of I've got to go and spend $1.50 on t-shirts, hoodies, and whatever else you're gonna produce. You can literally just be like, there's our designs. As soon as you click on order on the website, it sends it to them. They print it, send it to the person who's bought it. It's such a fantastic way to work for bands that really cuts the overheads down. Obviously, things are getting stripped like left, right, and center from the music business at the moment for unsigned bands. You know, touring's harder, getting your music out harder, you know, all that kind of stuff. So that lowering of overheads and being able to have it printed on demand makes a huge difference.
It does. We've got another question from Jimmy Layton. She asks, any festival ideas or festivals you would like to play at?
Well, we're doing Heartland next year, which is in Pitlochry. It's a big festival. I would like to do the big one. I'd like to go to Glastonbury, even as just, you know what I mean, like in the crowd. But I would like to get, whether it's on like a little tiny stage, as I was saying, in the side somewhere, I don't mind. But I'd like to experience that kind of vibe. There's one. Where's Coachella? Is that in like California or something?
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, I've seen a few bands play there. That would be, for sure. And playing in the sunshine for me would do it. So yeah, just
sunshine. Never heard of it.
Yeah, I live in California. I'm going over to California at Coachella.
You don't get sunshine at Scottish festivals. It's just the beer's warm. But yeah, I think Coachella would be a good one. That would be a cracker. Burning Man is obviously a big one. Glastonbury Download would be another one that'd be quite fun to do as well, I think. A few. So that's to answer your question, Gemma, at the moment, that's what we're doing, is going through the application kind of process of getting into play these places. And if anybody wants to petition and harangue the organisers of the festival to do that, please feel free to as well.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you for that, Gemma. I know you can't really say much, but is there sort of like going to be sort of like a full tour of Scotland or a full tour of the UK next year?
Hopefully, yeah. We're going, as Ewan was saying, we're going to kick off a little kind of do it in two halves. We're going to do the acoustic kind of unplugged thing to kind of begin celebrating, as I say, 18 years as a band. What Comes of You, our biggest single, potentially going to come out again because it did well before, and hopefully it can do well again. Because forgetting people, most people haven't heard of us. You know what I mean? Really, let's be honest. So if we can get that song out there again to New Year's, 5 years on, all good. So that's the plan for the first part of the year. And then, yeah, I mean, we've got the big festival booked in June. We have got another couple of biggish kind of shows booked. So we're hoping to do maybe 12, 15 dates next year, Ewan, or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the one. It's like I was saying before as well for that one, Al. The key at the moment is for us to do the right kind of shows, the right kind of ones where we're going to be getting these things. There can be an element of oversaturation, and trying to keep that, we're all a little bit older, families, all this kind of stuff. A couple of the guys don't, but we've got to balance that also. When you're organizing 6 people's schedules, it's a tricky thing to do. But getting on the same page for the festivals is the key. So yeah, it's just like I say, keep applying for them, getting in. We've got about sort of 12 to or so sort of reasonably sized gigs, of roughly about the same size or below is what we're aiming for, to kind of get into that next level of the gigs that we're playing, basically.
Cool. So stay on sort of like the tour side of things. If you got everything aligned, everything sorted out, schedules, the finances, the backing, would you go over to sort of like Canada, US, or even down to Australia?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the thing is that that would kind of be key. We could probably book a 10, 20 day tour in the US just now, but you're playing like Joe's Bar and Grill and like, whatever, Crayfish Shack. Is that going to get you the kind of coverage that you want to get? Are you really going to get your money's worth out of going to it? So yeah, that would absolutely love to. And I know that I've got friends over there that have been absolutely dying to see us live, but we're just not getting over there yet. So yeah, 100%. I think playing these kind of places, and it then opens up doors for things like festivals like the Coachella, that sort of thing that we're saying about. So yeah, 100%. I would love to get over there and do some playing. I think our stuff would go over pretty well over there as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you've also got the other thing with America and Canada is you've got the massive scope of like university radio, college radio across there, which you don't have in the UK. I mean, if you look at Scotland, if you're not the taste of a couple of DJs in Scotland, then you're kind of struggling to get airplay here. Yeah. Whereas Canada, America and Canada, they have all the kind of different charts. They have all this kind of stuff, which don't really get as much coverage or anywhere near as much coverage as the kind of pop charts do here. So yeah, it's a massive market. I would love to get in and play it. And again, don't get me wrong, I would love to get some of the vitamin D from the sun as well. That'd be fantastic. Because at the moment it feels like if the sun was to turn up, we're just going to start throwing stones at it because we don't know what it is. But yeah, man, I would love to get over that side of the water and go and play there. That'd be good too. I would enjoy that.
Cool. So where can people find you on social media so they can actually keep up to date what's coming out next year?
Literally just type in Emerald Sunday in Google and you'll get us on. We've got a Linktree site as well. It'll take you to everything. But we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on, it's not Twitter now, X. Facebook. We've got our own .net website, so we're everywhere. But yeah, if you type in Emerald Sunday in Google, there'll be like 4 or 5 pages come up with all sorts of stuff, reviews, all that kind of thing as well.
Yeah, they've all got our Linktree attached to it as well. So you find one, you'll find the rest of them, no problem at all. But yeah, Emerald Sunday is pretty much the handle on every every social media platform you'll find.
Yeah.
Cool. So, guys, in the chat, if you've got any final questions, please ask away. Because we're going to be starting to wrap things up in the next 5-10 minutes or so. Any advice for people who want to become a musician, whether for their own personal pleasure or quite possibly going down the commercial road?
Yeah, and from my own life as well. I just as a kind of little bit of backstory, I'm not from a musical family at all. My gran could play the spoons. She was a mean spoons player, but apart from that, that was the only musical talent they had in the family, or any musician that we had in the family, really. And I explained the story earlier, how I got into bass playing and all that kind of stuff. And throughout my entire sort of early stage of playing with bands that were a kind of higher level, my dad was always at me. He's like, you need to think about, do you want to, join the police, join the ambulance service, do this, do that. And I'm like, this is not like, if you're asking me to do these things, you do not know what I'm like, where my head is at with my life at the moment. Dad honestly says that is not the kind of trade I'm built for. Honestly, not for me. And then it was when I was in the band Echo Arcadia that I was saying about, we played our album launch show. And at the end of the gig, he came up to me and went, "You were right. You were right. This is what you're meant to do, son." And that got me. That really got to me, because that's my dad saying that. My dad and I don't talk like that normally. It's very kind of standoffish, Scottish, just and taking the piss out of each other every so often, but like that kind of stuff. So yeah, we don't really have that, don't really talk like that. So for him to say that was a big thing. And then about 6 months afterwards, I went up to go and see him up in Inverness, and he was like, "I've got a surprise for you." I'm like, "Oh, cool, yeah, what is it?" He went away and came back, and he'd gone and bought a 6-string. And he went, he says, I'll tell you something. He says, "I've always wanted to learn to play guitar, and I love the blues. I've always wanted to learn to play blues guitar, and I never thought I could do it because nobody in the family played a musical instrument. So I didn't think there was any musical talent." Because you've came in, there's no musical talent in the family. You've just worked your butt off and got to where you are now. So evidently, it's he's just put in the work. So I want to put in the work. I want to learn to play guitar, and he does pick it up. He's not, he's not. Don't get me wrong. He's no howling wolf or any of that kind of thing. But he still picks it up, and he absolutely loves just spending time on it. So yeah, it's take the step, do the thing. Like, honestly, pick up a musical instrument, because it's one of the most rewarding things. I don't mean in a monetary sense. I must stress that. But the people that I've met, the experiences that I've had, all of that through music have just been like incredible. So much fun. And you can find that on in a jam room with 3 friends on a Thursday night in Dunfermline. Or Edinburgh or wherever. You can find that in some of the strangest places. But honestly, some of the best nights I've had have been completely unexpected jams with friends or people that I've met, or experiences with bands I've been in as well. It's such an enriching thing to create music with other people, which I would encourage anybody to do. Just do it. Don't be scared. Don't worry about what people think. Just go and pick it up and play it, whatever it is.
Alan?
Yeah, well, maybe I'm not the best to give advice, because I left halfway through a trade actually to jack it. I jacked it and went to music college, to my dad's complete disgust, by the way. Because he got me the apprenticeship, and then I jacked it. I was like, "No, you know what? I want to go to college and do music and write songs." And that, I was like, "Oh God, really?" So here it was. But Ewan's totally spot on. I mean, even if it's just, the joy I get from being more of a writer, the joy I get from writing something from nothing to then hearing it coming out a massive set of speakers is just like, there's nothing else for me better. So if that's what your bag is, and you're just doing it for yourself, even, you know what I mean, it makes me feel good, and just do it. If that's what you want to do, just do it for yourself. But I do come from a musical family. My dad was in a band. He still is in a band, and I recorded his first record when he was 68 years old. You know what I mean? And he loves it. He loves coming in here, and I record him on this kind of thing. I've got this home studio, and so there's never you know what I mean? You're never too late either. You know what I mean? I mean, we're still going. We're all in our like 30s and early 40s and that now, but who cares? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a number. It's
Exactly.
Just do what you do.
That's it. Yeah, and as we said, it doesn't have to. It's not a monetary thing at all.
It's nothing to do with that. We've not made a lot of money recently anyway because of the way things are and just the way the music business is at the moment. And it's not on anywhere near the top of my game, really, to be honest with you. It's just the joy I get from hearing us making that thing, you know what I mean, and coming back at you is that's it for me. Like, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, and this is, please understand, this is not a high C on my own trumpet here, but you know, like with the stuff in terms of gigs that I've played, stuff, I was able, the bass that I play is handmade and is completely spec'd out to me down to the millimeter, like all this kind of stuff. And the bits that I've had these experiences through music, I've had some awesome fun, but the bits that I bring up any time that I'm asked a question with this, every single instance that I bring up is nothing to do with money. It's the experience with my dad. It's having him coming up to me after a gig and being like, you were right. None of it's about money. It's all about the stuff around it. You know, these experiences that you have with other people when you're playing. That's the most rewarding bit. And if something happens on top of that as a little side product and you make a little bit of cash for a hobby, even better. But don't make that your focus. Focus on the fun bit, and then the money comes from the fun, not the other way around.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, sound advice there. Sound advice. So this is going to be sort of like, who's going to be starting to wrap things up. So any final words before we start, before we go?
Go for it, Ian.
Light travels a lot faster than sound, which is why a lot of people will appear bright until they actually speak to you.
Nice.
That's about the best I can do, fellas.
I can't beat that, so there we go.
Yeah, like we said before, if you're thinking about getting into music, do it, and do it for the fun, and then everything else comes off the back of the fun. That's the main reason to do it. If you need any help, message, you know what I mean, drop us a message, come to a gig, do whatever. We are happily chat away to anybody and talk about stuff. We're not that whole kind of like standoffish kind of thing. We'll sit and have a good crack with anybody, and we'll do best to kind of advise and do what we can. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Make it about fun, and you're going to earn so much more than money.
Absolutely.
So, guys, Ewan, Alan, thank you so much for coming on and doing this little interview. It's been a total pleasure. So, thank you so much.
No,
thank you so much for having us on.
Yeah, thank you too, Al. It's great to be able to chat to someone who has that kind of breadth and depth of knowledge of music, and it is coming from it from the same point of view as well, man. So no, thank you to you too, and thanks for everybody for the questions, to Gemma, to Luz, to Aussie Ruse 2026 as well, and to everybody else that tuned in. Yeah, thank you very much.
Gemma just came in at the last minute. Get out the person with 13th.
Listen to what Gemma says.
Yeah.
Gemma speaks the truth.
So, guys in the chat, I put the links in the description for the band, the Instagram, Facebook, and the Linktree as well. So, and the YouTube as well. So go check them out. If you haven't checked Emerald Thunder out, please go check them out. Like I said, put all the links down in the description. So, guys, again, thank you so much for joining and doing this little interview. It's been a total pleasure.
No, and to you. Thanks, everybody, and thank you, folks. Take care, all right?
Take it easy.
Right. So, until next time, guys, we'll catch you all later.